See. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our mini masterclass, if you will, for today. We definitely won't be here long, but we'll definitely be here strong. Super duper excited about today's masterclass. If you're tuning in for the very first time, welcome. My name is Portia Williams, also known as the Student Success Coach. I'm a author of an amazing book called Take Charge. I don't even have it with me right now, but if you are a parent and you are looking for not just a great read, but a tool that is going to help your child achieve academic success. Not only is this masterclass going to be fire, but I can't give you everything in this masterclass. I encourage you to go to this description in this channel and get a copy of the book. You will not be disappointed. I promise you. Okay. So, welcome, parents. This masterclass is going to be centered around like everything literally that I do, like the point, right, of why I do what I do. Right. And so, if you haven't tuned in, today's masterclass is entitled How to Help Your Child Achieve Academic Success. How to help your child achieve academic success. And this masterclass is really coming from this problem that I know many parents have. And that's the problem of not knowing how to help their child academically. And so, this problem that we're going to focus on today, I want to make sure I reiterate it, is for parents who do not know how to help their child. All right. And so I'm going to just back up just a little bit. I know that we are um, at the end of the school year. Some kids are like done, right? Some kids are in their last few weeks, right? And the school year is wrapping up. But I truly believe this any person who is successful, right? During their off time, they get into some type of work, right? To keep them up to prepare for the next season, right? So, for example, I always use this, it's a debate, right, of the GOAT, whether you're going to consider MJ the GOAT, whether you're going to consider maybe Magic the GOAT, maybe you're going to consider LeBron the GOAT, maybe you're going to consider, what's his name, Dads? Help me. The basketball player who passed away. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? No matter who you consider the GOAT, right? The greatest of all times, right? No matter who you consider the GOAT, every one of those men, right? And I can name women who are considered the GOATs, right? On their downtime, on their off seasons, they don't just sit at the beach the entire season. They take some relaxation, of course, but then they also spend some time as well getting into um, a, getting into their craft, like spending time sharpening their skill. And that's what we're going to do today, right? And we're going to do that for the rest of the summer, okay? So today is going to be like our official last, right, masterclass that is going to like help your child for this school year. But it's also the first masterclass that's going to help your child for the next school year as well. So we're going to use this as an endpoint, and we're about to use this class to catapult us to help us for this summer. And so we're preparing for this back to school series. It's back to school masterclass, mini masterclass series. It's not going to be long, but we're going to use this to catapult us, right? So mark this for an end, preparing for a beginning. Okay. And so again, this class is all about parents and for parents who don't know how to help their child academically. The school year has ended. You still feel low. You still feel clueless. You still feel like you don't know what to do to help your child academically. And that is what this class is all about. Okay. So you're at the right place at the right time if that's what you feel. Right. And share this with someone else, right, that you may know is struggling with their child grades K through 5 as well. We are going to use this tool to help. Okay. So let's get into it. First things first, the topic for this class. This is how you help your child achieve academic success? Like, I'm going to give you the answer. Okay. But before you get the answer, I have to make it very, very clear that not knowing how to help your child, having this problem is going to cause major risk for you. You're putting you and your child at major stake, right? Because if you're at this point, nothing is changing, right? And it's really costing you and it's costing your child. And one of the things that I want to make very clear that is happening if you don't know how to help your child and they're still struggling academically, is that their grades aren't going to change. More than likely, their grades are not going to grow leaps and bounds. And what can also happen is your child will continue to fail. They'll continue if they're on an F grade scale, F's, E's, right, D's, minimum C's, right? Or, if they're on that like 1, 2 scale because they're, not quite got into second, third, fourth grade or first, second, third grade yet, and they're still at that early stage and they're not, achieving, right? Or they're not progressing, their grades are going to stay the same. They're going to continue to have those low, as back in the day, one of my substitutes used to say, they're going to continue to have low marks, right? And I would laugh at that. When I was in elementary school, we had like an old Southern teacher substitute, but he was right. Like those marks, when they stay low, right? Over time, right, it can make a parent feel like they don't have the answers. And so instead of your child continue to have low grades and low marks, right? As my old sub used to say, and your child continue to fail, I want you to, on the flip side, right, implement this. And you can implement this today. School for some of y'all is in session for your kids. You can implement this today. And this is what I would say is the number one way to begin to help your child achieve academic success right now. Okay. And forever, like this is what I'm going to say is the number one way, the number one way to help your child. And that is simply to show up academically for your child. Like show up. That's just what I'm asking you for today. Nothing deep. Show up. Show up for your grades K-5 child. What does that look like, right? Being present, being engaged in your child's learning, right? And that's with them and the school. Okay. So this is what it's going to take. This is what it's going to take. Number one, supporting your child at home. Supporting your child at home. Like that is how you show up at home. I always say this, you don't have to have all the answers. But even if you're tired right now, you feel clueless, you don't know what to do with them, and their grades suck, right? If you just sit down with them, truly knowing that their grades suck, and you just sit down with them, like go to the table, you and them, and just sit and just be like, how you doing? Like that's showing up. Okay. So I want you to support them. That's a way to support them. That's a way to show up. Okay. That is at home. That's how you do it at home. But you got to do it at school. I know that many of you work full time, many of you work overtime, but you got to show up. You got to show up. And not just when the school calls and says that your child's grades are horrible or they're talking in class or the behavior is disruptive. Like show up. Show up. Whether it's, the school could be having literally assemblies today where like graduation ceremonies and your child is not doing extremely well. Maybe your child isn't doing extremely well, but show up anyway. Even if they're not being recognized, that's still your child. Show up. That is a way to show up. And I'm telling you, it matters. I want to say this, and then I'm gonna share a story with you. I think I know it's not think, it's a statistic. Have you ever talked to grown people, right? Grown people who are like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. And their biggest problem that they say, that they wish that they would have had is people who showed up for them. Their parents didn't show up. Maybe their parents didn't sit down with them and do homework. Maybe their parents never came to their basketball games. Like there are grown people who still are in pain of how their parents didn't show up for them. Do you know any of those people? Like, I don't know, maybe that could be you as well, right? But do you know people like that? Like, drop it in the comments. There are people, they are grown and they still think about or have pain because their parents didn't show up for them, like at all, right? Especially when it centers around things like academics. And so I wanted to present that because I know it's like, well, I feel like I show up for my child, but I say that because there are children who grow up and they're adults and their parents think that they did great and they're adults right now. And they're like, no, you didn't do great. You didn't show up. And the parents like, I was there. And then they were like, no, you weren't. And they're like, I showed up for your basketball game and all of those times. And they're like, you were never there. And it starts so much controversy and so much trauma comes up and so many problems stem out because a child felt like their parents weren't. And so I'm not here to like solve um, all of adult problems today. I'm here to just help you as a parent share with you. You got to show up academically for your child. And what does that look like? Not just at school, but at home. Because on the flip side, their parents were active at school, right? They show up, but at home, their kids like go to their room and they don't really engage with their parents. And so it's gonna be great emotionally for your child. It's not just now. It's when they get old and you want a return on your investment for pouring into them and loving them for all these years. It's gonna give you a return on your investment when when your child can say my parent was there. And I know that because my parents, right? They were not perfect, but my parents showed up for me. They did. They weren't perfect, honey. They came to the school like beside me, right? Not physically, but my dad was with it. But my point was, right? They were there for me. They were there. They weren't perfect. I had a lot of challenges, but they showed up. They showed up for me at school and they were there for me at home to the best of their ability. Not perfect, but I can stand here in the level of success that I have because people were there. Okay. And so I want you to know that, right? I want you to know how important it is for you to show up and you can do it, right? For many of you, your schedules might be tight. That's what I'm here for. Let me help you help you. Let me look at what you have going on to help you show up for your child because you can't make the excuse because I'm telling you what's going to happen in years is your child's going to be like, you weren't there, right? And you don't want that. You don't want that. You do not want that. You can be present. You can be engaged in a way that's going to work well for you and your family, right? I'm not saying anything that's going to just work well for me. I'm saying what is going to work well for you and your family. Everybody's family dynamic is different. So I want you to be present. You can. That's my encouragement for you. You can be present and engaged, right? With you have, how you have it. I've been saying this for the past few weeks. I'm doing the best that I can with what I have. I'm doing the best that I can with what I got. And that's what I want you to do as well. You can be present and you can be engaged in your child's learning and you can do it with ease. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Okay. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. And so that's the class for today, right? That's the class for today, right? That is it. Now, I will say this if you uh, don't show up, right? If you do not show up for your child academically, it's a huge possibility that they will continue to fail. They will continue to fail and their grades will continue to be poor, continue to be poor. And I don't want that for you. I don't want your child to have low grades. I don't want them to have low marks on their report cards, on their progress reports. When you come to the meetings, I don't want the teachers to be getting on your nerves because all they say is horrible things and you're trying to figure out why y'all never told me this. Like, I don't want that for you. I want you to make sure, right, that you are putting yourself in a position where you're not living in those stakes, right? So you can either A, let them fail and let them have poor grades, right? Or you can make a shift and show up. And by showing up, let somebody help you. Let me help you, right? Let me help you. Sign up for a breakthrough session. Don't do this alone. Have someone that's going to help you. Sign up for a breakthrough session with me, right? Let me help you show up for your child academically. Okay. So if you want to talk about it, right? What is a breakthrough session? It's us talking about what's going on with you. I can't talk to you through this YouTube channel, like literally me and you, but I could talk, right, to the general public. But I want to talk to you and see what's going on with your child. Sign up for a breakthrough session with me. Email me. I'm gonna put my email how you can sign up for a session with me. Because right now, if you tap on the link, you're not gonna see any available because I don't have any available, right? But if you email me directly, I will set up appointment that's going to work both for you and I. And we can do that soon or we can do that later. But I prefer you to do it sooner versus later because the summer is coming. Okay. And I want you to be prepared and have everything you need. Email me at the studentsuccessschool@gmail.com and just let me know. Like, don't make it hard. Just say, hey, coach, I want a session. And we can book one then. I put the email right there. You'll have it. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. A little over 15 minutes. But I'm gonna give you prayfully next time I can give you time back. We'll see. Love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know any great takeaways. I want to hear from you. Love you all much.